So, because I was a Green Lantern, I've got a Green Lantern ring, and I've got a Blue Lantern ring. If only I had a Red Lantern to help me out. Whoa! Well. Good to see you, Red Lantern. Were you able to help us out? So, Red Lantern, when I was teaching everybody that red, green, and blue are our primary colors of light. Your ring produce light, and my ring. So, Red Lantern, when I was teaching everybody that red, green, and blue are our primary colors of light. Your ring produce light, and my rings produce light. Can you do me a favor, and can you just point your ring on the table? That way we can see the red light. That's the primary color red. I'm going to point my Green Lantern ring at the table. That's the primary color green. And I'm going to point my Blue Lantern ring on the table. That's the primary color blue. So let's do some color mixing. So, the primary colors are red and green. Red and green together make the color yellow. Can you point your light at the table for me? Let's do it in 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that again. We're going to put the red and blue at the same time. Red and blue light together should make the color. All right. Let's try that again. We're going to put the red and blue at the same time. Red and blue lights together should make the color. Look at that. Magenta. 1, 2, 3. So now, if we got red and green making yellow, and red and blue making magenta, that means green and blue needs to make the color. All right. Cyan. So I'm going to point both of my rings. So now, if we got red and green making yellow, and red and blue make magenta, that means green and blue needs to make the color cyan. So I'm going to point both of my rings at the table. 1, 2, 3. So the last trick. If we point all 3 of our rings, how do you like that? You have the color cyan. We should get the color white. So the last trick. 1, 2, 3. If we point all 3 of our rings at the table at the same time, we should get the color white. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that's additive color mixing. I really appreciate your help. Use the primary colors of light. Green, blue, and red. The color white. So the next thing we're going to get into is subtractive color mixing. So with subtract, hey, your ring is flashing. Does that mean you got to call and you got to go help somebody? Well, I really appreciate your help. See you later. Subtractive color mixing. Subtractive color system. So we already went over additive color systems, how you can mix the primary colors to make secondary colors. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take our color pencils or our markers, and we're going to add pigment to the paper. When we add pigment to the paper, it's called subtractive because you subtract the amount of light that can be displayed on the paper. So we want to trace 3 shapes and have them overlap each other. So I'm going to take this small cup and I'm going to trace it in 3 places where each shape overlaps each other. So here goes my first shape. There we go, nice and smooth. And here goes our second shape. Making sure shape 1 overlaps shape 2. So And here goes our third shape. Take our time, Mr. Long. Nice and easy. There you go. Shape 1 overlap shape 2. Shape 2 overlap shape 3. Shape 1 overlap shape 3. And all 3 shapes overlap in the center. I'm going to do this twice because in our additive color system, we only have 3 sets of colors we use as our primaries. But as we was coming up, our first adventure into mixing colors, and we were told that colors combine and what our primaries were, we were told our primary colors were something other than what I'm going to show you. So, in the subtractive color system, our primary colors are yellow, cyan, and magenta. I'm going to say it again. They are yellow, cyan, and magenta. Now, we've also been told that the original primary colors we first learned were yellow, blue, and red. But these 3 colors here, yellow, magenta, cyan, are better suited to make more amounts of colors. And I'll show you. So now when I use the color pencils, I'm going to hold the pencil like a drawing tool and not much like a writing tool. If I hold my pencil like a drawing tool, I can hold and get more surface area on the area I'm coloring, and I also can control the amount of pressure that I put on the paper. So first off, I'm going to hold it diagonally, and I'm going to lightly fill in my top circle. Now as you notice, as I fill in my top circle, I'm going in the same direction. When coloring, if you go, or even painting in some instances too, but when you fill in an area, if you go all in the same direction, it gives your image a smoother look. Everything looks uniform. Now, as we were younger, sometimes when we first learned how to color, we were told to outline the shape we're going to color and then fill in the shape afterwards. But we don't have to do that. With a little bit of practice and we slow it down, we can do exactly what I'm doing. Now, don't be afraid to turn your paper and occasionally go against the grain, but softly, to fill in areas that you weren't quite able to fill in by using the first pattern. Because we're going to use both color systems so you can see the 2 sets of colors and the colors that mix with their secondaries. Go look at it, nice and smooth. See how my strokes are even and consistent? Holding my pencil sideways. Oh, got a little mesh right there. Sweep that off there. So I'm going to rotate my paper. Remember, you want to rotate your paper because if you rotate your paper, you get a bit of a handle on things. So, filling it in, smoothing it out. Done. So the next color I want to use, I'm going to put the color magenta right here. I'm going to start from the outside and work my way in. Also, when you color, you want to go from your lightest colors to your darkest colors. I'm going to say it again. You want to go from your lighter color to your darker color. And if you stay in the habit of that, it really doesn't make too much of a difference when you're coloring using color pencils. But sometimes other tools and materials we use may tend to bleed over. So now I'm going to fill in over top of this yellow portion. And as you can see, we're getting a nice secondary color to show up already. Now I'm going to rotate my paper where I can get the areas that I didn't quite fill in. All right, nice. Here we go. Now I'm going to use red. Once again, I'm going to go from the outside inward. So now as I go from the outside inward, I'm trying to maintain the same amount of pressure. There we go. Filling that in. Keeping my stroke patterns in the same direction. Now I'm going to fill in the area that is yellow. And as you notice, you can start to see a secondary color being created right here. Let me rotate my paper. I want to softly fill in the areas that I missed. I want to go right up to that edge of the line and keep my work inside the circle. Nice and smooth. I'm going to use my cyan to fill in the third area. Also, you might be left-handed or right-handed. If you rotate the paper, that makes it easier for you to fill in the area you're working at. So if you're left-handed, that might work well for you going the other way. But I'm right-handed, so I have to go and rotate my paper. Notice I'm keeping the same amount of pressure as I fill in the circle. Look at that. Nice and smooth. That cyan is a pretty color. Then I fill in the other two sections. Look at that. That is nice. I have a student who speaks French, and we were going over colors in class, and I was just saying what the colors were and asking other students, do they know colors in another language? And she told me that the color cyan is turquoise. I was like, turquoise? I did not know that, because that's another color that we have. So turquoise is the color or another name for cyan. But of course, this student said it with, you know, a nice French accent. They was like, turquoise, turquoise, turquoise. Well, you know, I can't speak French yet, but I'm going to learn it. Look at that. Now it's pretty even. So that's our first pass. Let's try this blue one. Same related area. Keeping the stroke pattern in the same direction. Oh, look at that. See? Slow it down, Mr. Long. You made a mistake. Okay. Craftsmanship is the key. Look at that secondary shape being made. Nice. Fill that in. Fill this other end in too. Make sure we keep maintaining the same stroke direction, stroke pattern. Nice. Now, as you can see, the colors are mixed, but what we're going to do, we're going to go next level this thing. We're going to add more color to it so we can get a better saturation. Saturation is the amount of color that's in something. So we're going to make it more vibrant. It's going to pop. And I'm going to go over top of these right here with this color yellow. Oh, look at that. There it is. That's nice and bright and vibrant. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. As I go over the yellow, and when the yellow meets the cyan, you can see we're making a nice vibrant color green. Look at that. We're going to go over the center here. As these colors mix, they don't quite stand out to a singular color yet. But let me finish mixing this. Oh, look at this. When the yellow goes over the magenta, it gives it a reddish appearance. Let's go over and add more saturation to the magenta one. And even when you go over area, the second time you're coloring, could be on anything, you want to also try to maintain the same direction that you're going in. Oh man, as that fills in, look at that. That's filling out to be a nice, bright shade of red. Not a shade, a solid hue of red. Let's add some to the center spot here. Now, another reason why I said when we want to start the first couple of passes when you color lightly, that's because when you put pigment on paper, especially with colored pencils or even crayons for that matter, chalk, they tend to break off and fill in, but you still got some white space. And with that white space, you can use that to mix other colors. Let's get this one in here. Look at that. This turned to a fairly shaded, decent blue. Let's go over this cyan. Remember, we're going to go in, we're going to add a little more pressure. That way our colors become more saturated. When that magenta and when that cyan mix, it gives us a nice, solid color blue. Oh, look at the green that's created there. Let me finish this opener of this cyan over here. We want to make sure we do a good job. Rotate the paper if you need to. Okay. My direction was going this way. Make sure we maintain the same direction. Oh, that is a nice, vibrant, pretty shade of green, like a green pea, like a vegetable. Now, as I add these colors in here, they're not yellow, not magenta, nor are they cyan, nor are they red, blue, or green. It's got a brownish hue to it. Let's That's kind of what happens when you mix these three colors together using a colored pencil. A lot of times you get the color brown. Nice. You know what? What we do to one, we're going to do to the other. I'm going to go in here. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Oh, look at that. You made another mistake. Let's look at this again. I'm going to take my time and fill this over that red section in. And as we learned before, red and yellow creates orange. How do you like that? Blue and yellow still makes green, but if you notice, the green is a little darker to it. And this is center point here. Wow, it's almost like that color there. Let's go with the red. Same direction. Same pressure. Oh, make another mistake. You gotta slow down, guy. Okay. I'm talking to the Mr. Long in my head who likes to rush sometimes. He's gotta slow it down. There we go. Look at that. That's much better. Let's go into this section here. So as red and yellow mix, it proves what we've learned before. Red plus yellow does make orange. Red and blue gives you another color. It doesn't give you blue. It gives you more of a violet. Let's see what happens when we add blue to this last part of the equation. Remember, guys, don't forget to rotate the paper. Get at a better angle at it. Look at this. Okay, I'm going to make this look nice because craftsmanship is the key here. There you go. There you go. So let's hit this green portion. Same direction. Look at that. See? Yellow and blue does make a green. Oh, see here. Red and blue, it makes violet. Look at that. So let's try the center section here and see what we get. Keeping my pencil stroking in the same direction. It's got a darker center, a darker brownish, if you will. This is called the CNY model. Cyan, magenta, yellow. And this is the red, yellow, blue model. So this color here we get is green. Because yellow and cyan gives you green. Section here, put some arrows on it, there we go. It's red. Because magenta and cyan makes blue. For this model here, we have yellow and blue makes green. We have red and blue. Whoop, creates violet. And for this section here, you've got yellow and red. It gives us orange. So now you can see this, because we can create red by using these colors here, that means red and blue aren't necessarily primary colors, but you can create those colors and you have a bigger, wider palette to use. Let's try together. You pause the video, go get something to trace, bring back some paper, bring back your 3 pencils, come back. I'll wait. Time's up. You can work on your round shapes, but I'm going to trace another shape. It may be something you've seen before. It's a 5-sided shape. It's akin to something in the media world, something we may have seen as a child of some sort. So what I want you to do, on the count of 3, I want you to yell at the top of the lungs where you've seen that at. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do it again. I couldn't hear you. One more time. 1, 2, 3. That's right. Batman. Yes. Nah, I'm just playing. That's Superman. Superman symbol. Superman symbol happens to be a 5-sided shape, which is nice. But now this 5-sided shape poses a different set of issues. The issues are, when you're tracing it, you can kind of stay consistent with one shape. Matter of fact, you could probably be pretty much consistent tracing the second shape. Let's see if we can get that right there. Let me do that. Where you at? There's 2. Let's go 3. Now the key thing is, when we get that third shape, we want to make sure that it overlaps both shapes and all 3 meet in one area. If I did this correctly, we should be able to see that work. Let's see. Sometimes I get excited. I rush too fast. Look at that root on my table. Let me fix this out. Okay, you guys didn't see that. So, did I do it right? Let's check. We got shape 1, shape 2, they overlap here. Shape 1, shape 3, they overlap here. Shape 2 and shape 3, they overlap here. And all 3 overlap in the center. Good to go. If you got that, let's move forward. So now, I'm going to do this one more time while I'm working on this. You'll be working on your shape. It could be round, it could be square, it could be any other shape. But I want it to be something simple. And I'm going to go with markers, but I want you guys to try with whatever tools you have. But I need you to try to make sure you're using your primary colors. If you don't have cyan, yellow, magenta, then I want you to make a go for it with the red, blue, and yellow. And I'm going to go lightest to darkest. Now, with a marker, markers are different than colored pencils. Markers give you full saturation. Full saturation. So, when it hits the paper, you don't have to make 2 and 3 passes most times, because that's all the color you get at one time. This is like a paintbrush. It's like a watercolor paintbrush. And the nib, even though it's hard, it's more like a paintbrush tip. So let's go. I'm gonna go in the same direction. I need to take my time. I'm not gonna go all the way to the edge, because as you've seen before, when you rush, you kind of make mistakes. I mean, it's no problem with making mistakes, but if you can avoid them, then you do. Here we go. Also notice, I'm still holding my coloring tool, like an art tool. We want to get to the edge, so we take our time, nice and neat. Filled in. So next, we're going to use our magenta right here. And just like before, I'm going from the outside area and work my way in. Holding my pencil not like a writing tool, but a drawing tool. I'm going to go fill it in. There we go. Look at that. Now, I've seen some of you guys' tool on your scavenger hunt. And might I say, you guys look like you are prepared for art greatness. Good job. Also, I noticed you guys got some pretty good tools too. Some of you have those designer markers, which are great. Uh-oh, look at that. And those designer markers, they have probably better nibs and tips than what I'm using here. Just take your time, you can get better results than what I got. I don't know if you guys saw what just happened in that one swoop that we just done there. It created the color red right off jump. That's something. Like I said before, yellow and magenta, wow, makes the color red. Just to prove for the last part here, let's go with the cyan. I gotta rotate my paper. How you guys doing out there? You guys, you holding your pencil like a drawing tool and not like a writing tool? Are you taking your time? Nice and smooth and even strokes. You don't have to go all the way to the edge and go near it and come back. All right. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to fix this outside one up. because I want to try to do a reveal, if you will, as I color, like a big reveal, like ta-da! Look how well the color mixed. Ta-da-da! Here we go. I'm gonna bring the cyan into the yellow first. Oh, what's my stroke pattern? This way. Let's maintain that same stroke pattern. Now I'm right here by the magenta. I'm just gonna hit. Yeah, just right this way. Oh, look at that. As the magenta and cyan meet, it creates a nice, vibrant blue. Isn't that pretty? Let's go with this one. You know what this is gonna make. That's right, cyan and yellow make the color green. All day, every day. Look at that. Oh, that is awesome. Let's clean it up. Right, look at that. Last but not least, this center color. Let's see what happens. So, oh, look at that. Creating a nice, dark, might I say, dark brown, possibly almost even a black color. Look at that. That is pretty fly. Rotate the paper. Rotate the paper. Clean it up. So look at this. We've got yellow, magenta, and cyan. Wow. Yellow, magenta, red, yellow, cyan, green, magenta, cyan, blue. All three colors give you black. That is a subtractive color system. So now what you guys got to do is, on your own, find an easy geometric shape. Create something like this. Give it 2 shots. That way you practice one, you do a better version. And then, lastly, I want you to find something, a shape that's different. I don't know, maybe you got, let's say, a number 1 laying around somewhere. You have your own 5-sided shape. Maybe it's your arc reactor. Like a batarang. Alright, that's my challenge. That's what I want you guys to do. Take your time. You can do a great job. You'll be awesome. Once you finish your 3 shapes, hook the background up. Your choice. Make it look nice and tight. You likes? I likes. Matter of fact, what I want you to do, I want you to go do something nice for your family. The weekend's coming up. You know what they need? They need you to make some breakfast. As a matter of fact, make them some pancakes.